Okay, so hold on, let me put this up in here. We might as well start with her anyway. Okay, we'll start
And it
right
hasn't gone live just yet.
there. Okay.
Just taking a quick second.
Yes, what a crazy episode.
I was I was really surprised by Danny's reaction thus far. It makes it seem like she's never been in a co-parenting situation, which I'm surprised she's even with this man knowing he has children and that this could always be a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, it's been an ongoing situation since they started dating, and he mentioned that, I got 2 children. I've been married before. And the thing is, Danny, it's almost like, because I mean, even with the situation, which we'll get to Sabrina as well, but the situation with Danny and, the guy that she's dating, I just don't understand why she has to realize that, especially him being a single father, because of the fact that the mom was going to the military, that she's gonna have to deal with him and his schedule with the kids and everything else. And even though the mom is deployed, she eventually she came home. She's back in the States. So she also got to realize that if there's kids, there's a mom somewhere. So
Right.
that's something that she needed to consider, if in fact you're going to deal with a man with kids. Now, I got to say, in this whole situation with the major mom, I'll just call her that, I think what Danny was feeling a little bit insecure is because the shared connection that they have. Because here's the thing, there's this whole ideology that exes should be very vitriolic to each other, be mean, get the arguing, and who are you and
Right.
what you doing, and look like these two are amicable.
And I don't understand why she would have a problem with that. Would she rather have a jealous, bitter baby mom popping up to the house, trying to get with the baby daddy? Like, what would make Danny happy? They're amicable. She's watching the kids. She doesn't care what they do. So she's trying to keep the peace while she's in the States and spend time with her kids. I mean, she's been away from her children. She's not worried about you, Danny, or him.
Exactly. And then the other thing is when he found out that she had got promoted to major, and they had this little hand type of gesture that they both did, she looking like, oh, y'all way too cool for each other. And so I think that's where her issue is, and the fact that the mama is cool. So okay, so let me say this, and let me know what you think about it. So
Mm-hmm.
with Danny hopefully wanting to grow this relationship, she's already been around his kids. She obviously is feeling a connection with him and vice versa, it seems. At some point, she probably is thinking that maybe this will be big enough where she will be around his family and will get to meet the mama. Now, here come Major Mom, who already has a relationship built and is so comfortable that not only is the ex amicable, but his mother is amicable. So you think that's what the issue is with Danny? Like, man, where do I fit in all of this?
I mean, whether Danny's in the picture or not, that has nothing to do with G.I. Jane and the relationship she has with her kid's grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
Like that bond is cemented. That's not going to change. So either Danny gets with the program. If she wants to be with Tony, she kind of has to get with the program and say, like, okay, she'll have her own separate relationship. That's the beauty about loving people. Everyone is able to stretch their heart out for more people. I don't think her. Plus, we don't know what interaction the Tony's mother would have with Danny for her to speculate like that. But there's one that's already established between G.I. Jane and the kid's grandmother. She can't change that, whether she likes it or not. So she should not even focus on that. She's very insecure in this regard, which, I mean, if she didn't want to deal with a man with kids, why is she dating a man with kids?
Exactly. And I was going to piggyback on that because that goes into that whole dynamic about whether or not a person with no children should be dating a person with kids. Now, I know it happens all the time, so, we're not going to say that, oh my God, that's, but it makes it that much harder. Especially Danny has been living a solo single life. From the previous seasons, she's been the type of girl who, she was with Preston for a while. And maybe when she wasn't dating somebody seriously, she'll have a guy come through. She go to work every day. She come home to a little, her small apartment. There has been no kids and stuff like that. And to now get into a dynamic where you're dealing with a man who has a couple kids, he's cool with his ex, the mama's cool with the ex, that's something for her to consider. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. And she's kind of have to figure out what she wants out of Tony. It seems like Tony wants more with her. But what does she want out of Tony? Or better, what does she want for her life? Does she even see marriage for herself? Does she see even kids for herself?
Right.
Is she trying to live this solo dolo? Then if that's the case, then this is not the man she needs to be with.
Exactly. I totally agree with that. And then that's something that she should consider. She's in the opposite situation of Sabrina, I think. Well, they're not, kind of, sort of. But
kind of, sort of.
Right. Because he got kids already and she's walking in with none, trying to figure out where she can get in, where she can fit in. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a situation like, Danny, maybe you should have thought about that first before getting with this dude.
Yeah.
But he was a nice guy, and so, she had the situation with Preston. Preston was dealing with his ex. Then he got engaged to the ex and come back and tell Danny about it. I mean, there's a lot of bad blood in history. There was a SA situation that happened in the last season with her and that other guy she was seeing. So she find this guy and like, okay, he's hardworking, he's a father. Maybe this is what I should go into. Well, it's a package deal, ma'am.
Yep. And what we say about men, hey, women will say with kids, hey, this is the package deal. So she has to kind of just accept what comes with Tony, or she needs to try to make some decisions for herself and move past Tony. But his kids are not going anywhere. Neither is the mother.
Nope. And even after adults, those two are going to be, after the kids grow into adults, those two are going to be part of each other's lives for the children's weddings. And they little too. They don't have teenagers. Their kids are small. So there's going to be a few years, of the two of the parents being involved somehow. So Danny better figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You can't complain.
Nope. So another person that got to figure something out is this situation with Sabrina.
I'm so annoyed with her. Why is she involved with a man who doesn't want children?
Right.
Why is she sleeping with this man unless she's trying to trap this man? Because why is she getting offended by this man asking her if she on birth control? I don't think there's nothing wrong. Any person has a right to ask that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why she's getting so sensitive. This is why her and Karen get along so well. And we'll get to Karen. But why was that the hard question that she had to kick him out for?
Because he asked her a direct question saying, hey, did you get off your pill? I'm wondering, does he even know that she's been injecting herself?
Right. That's why I feel like, is she trying to trap him? Because she told that doctor in one of the episodes that she wanted to get eggs and embryos.
Yeah. She wants a kid, but then again, like we said about Danny being going into a situation with a person that, is a little bit opposite of you, this is the same
Mm-hmm.
thing. This man do not want children.
At all.
You want babies. I don't know how you think that's going to fit. And then here's the thing. Just say she do go get a sperm donor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever. How are y'all? He don't want to raise his own kids. Is he going to want to raise the child that she conceived through IVF?
I feel like they piggyback a little bit from the end of season 6 with being Mary Jane, because she went through that process, went through in vitro or whatever the case is, froze her eggs, created embryos with a sperm donor, and then Michael Eli was raising her child. I think she was hoping for the same thing for herself. Mm-hmm. But this man here is telling her every chance he gets, he does not want a child. Why are they involved with each other?
Exactly. And I'm assuming in Sabrina's mind, she wants to have her cake and eat it too, or have it all, or whatever you want to call it, because she like, okay, that dude is attractive, he's handsome, and she like, he hardworking, he's a good dude, kind of like Danny's dude. But the issue is, she's wondering, and they're in Atlanta, so the whole theory is 17-1, and if I find a good dude, I want to hold on to him. I just figure it out, and I think that's what she's trying to do. She's probably thinking like, okay, can I have both? This man, I want him, but he don't want kids. I want the baby, but I can get the baby from somebody else or from a donor. So maybe I can get both things, but you can't, because that man if he's going to continuously be involved in Sabrina's life, how the heck is he going to want to deal with a child when he said he don't want kids anyway? That doesn't make sense. I don't know why she's with him.
And then they're sleeping with each other. So he's putting himself in a predicament where he could get this girl pregnant, and like the other episodes, it seems like she was kind of guilt tripping him whenever they talked about kids. Like, oh my goodness, this is so sweet, this is so nice, and like they would be great parents. And she keeps like giving him a look, and he keeps standing forward. He's like, look, I do not want to have children. Why are they having sex? Why are they dating each other? Why are they even remotely in their space?
Exactly.
So,
hey, Delmonica.
It makes no sense to me that they even continued with this relationship. I mean, the sex can be all that good for you to be making poor decisions like this.
He was freaking out in last week's episode when the issue happened with the condom. Like, oh my God, you remember? So why would you even want to put yourself under that scrutiny if y'all are not on the same page when it comes to one of the biggest core values, which is, do we want children?
Right.
It just doesn't.
Like I said, these supposed.
Go ahead. What'd you say?
No, I was going to say they're supposed to be sound-minded, smart adults.
Exactly.
And they just hunching. That's all they're here to do.
Exactly. And it's like, oh my God. I mean, granted, they put them with decent guys. It's just that the matchup, the things within each other's lives with these couples don't match up. So, like we were saying about Danny. Danny's a single woman. She's been living the bachelorette life, walking into a man with 2 kids and an ex-wife. And now Sabrina got this situation where she's 35. She realized that she's getting older and she wants kids. And then this man is saying, I am adamant about not having them at all. So, how's this going?
Okay, it's fine. She's hoping she's like, okay, that's fine. She's hoping this man would change his mind.
Yeah. I just think if she end up popping pregnant, which it wouldn't surprise me that she not only, and knowing how Tyler Perry writes, I wouldn't be
Mm-hmm.
surprised. Not only she pop pregnant with one, she might pop pregnant with two, which will drive him insane, and it'll be his because they've been screwing each other.
Yep. It'd be his own fault.
Yep, yep.
I
But
feel
see,
like Danny.
hmm
Oh, I'm sorry.
no,
I
I
was
was
gonna say I feel Danny. Hey, Delmonica.
I
Uh,
just what I was going to quickly say before you go to Danny was the
mhm.
fact that she's not being honest, because if she was honest, he wouldn't have had to ask that question about whether she's still on birth control. This girl done been to see doctors. She's been tested. She's been injecting herself with hormones and all of that. He obviously has no clue of the process. I mean, I thought he did,
Me too. Since he was
but
supportive of it.
exactly. But why is he asking if he knows that she's going through the process? Why is he asking about whether or not she got off of her birth control? That makes no sense. You can't be trying to pump yourself full of hormones to get pregnant and then be on birth control. I don't know, unless I got that backwards. That didn't make sense to me.
No, you make it perfect. No, I understood that.
Hmm.
It's she's. This is where she's trying to. I don't know if she's trying to. Maybe not. I don't want to say trap. Let me not say that. I think she's trying to win him over to the idea of being with her, and because of her, he might want a family. But she got extra offended, extra sensitive over the fact that he really does not want to have children with her. So she figured that all this time, being with them, sleeping with each other, everything, that he's like, damn, he still doesn't want to have a child with me. Like, she shouldn't be offended by that. He's been saying that from jump. And I feel Danny and Sabrina need to swap partners.
Yeah, you know what? That would make sense, because I would think that Tony would be open to dating someone who wants children. He might even want to give her a baby without all
Right.
this money she paying, without all of this other craziness. And let me not say that. Everything is the process that she's going through. Because Tony might be like, oh, you know what? I'm most definitely open to having another child.
Yeah.
Whereas Danny, who clearly is trying to adjust being around kids, she would be better suited for Sabrina's guy, because he don't want any kids, and him and Danny could do whatever they want to, because Danny is a wild child when it comes to that, and
Yep.
they can ride off into the sunset in her bedroom, and with no problem,
Exactly.
and protect themselves.
Yep. And she'll probably have no problem being upfront and honest and yeah, I'm on birth control versus
Mhm.
getting sensitive and kicking that man out.
Yep.
And I think Sabrina and G.I.J. might get along. I don't think she would have an issue with that co-parenting situation either.
Nope. Plus, she would be happy to be around Tony's kids.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because she would be like, okay, I want kids of my own. I like kids. I'll love to be around your current children. So, yeah, that whole dynamic. But obviously, it's done like this because it creates the drama. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, all right. Well, let us switch gears a little bit, because we got the shocker of our life when Penelope showed up, the star witness that they trying to nail Gary. Oh, hey Christy, welcome.
Hi, Christy. Welcome.
She said she agreed with you.
Yes. They really need to swap partners. But Penelope, I was surprised this girl was alive.
I was happy, actually, because I was so mad when I saw that scene where Gary, all that blood, and
Sure.
he had the cleanup man come up, and I'm like, no, he did not, and that girl was pregnant.
Yeah.
Now, even though she's alive, and she says she slipped out, because the story that was created by her is that she started bleeding. What did he do? Hit her in the stomach or something? I
He
forget.
pushed her
He
down.
pushed her. Mm-hmm. And she started bleeding everywhere, and that was what they were cleaning up instead of what we actually thought it was. And she said she slipped out. and then obviously went into hiding protective custody. But when she came around that corner, she was happy. Andie was happy to see her. Now let me ask you this, Bree. Do you think that her telling Andie not to say anything to Jordan was a good idea?
Anything that's being told to Andie is never a good idea because she can never. She is not. How is she an attorney in the dumbest one of them all? Every scene, every time. I mean, keep in mind, Andie put Penelope in that position where she confronted Gary about that whole about that little girl and what happened to her, and then that's how she lost her baby. Then she had to square. Why is anyone ever trusting Andie or listening to Andie at this point? But should she have told Jordan? I don't think it would have changed anything because Jordan and Gary been face to face with each other, and Jordan hasn't done anything. So I think telling Jordan about his sister really wouldn't do anything.
Well, the thing is that remember Gary placed doubt in Jordan's mind that Andie had something to do with her being missing. So up until probably tonight's episode, because we saw toward the end of the episode while something was being poured in this drink, which we'll talk about in a minute, he was side-eyeing Andie. I'm like, why would you listen to Gary? Out of all people, you've had issues with Gary, and you let Gary tell you and try to slowly convince you that Andie had something to do with Penelope being missing. Now, of course, Jordan is looking for his sister. He's worried sick. That would take that doubt away from him. But after tonight, it looked like him and Andie might be okay now. Maybe he's not, maybe thinking that she had something to do with it because he was on the phone talking real happy to her. So before he got roofied.
Yeah, which that kind of worried me a little bit. I feel like they have like this up and down sort of relationship. It's hard for me to take them seriously, to be honest. It's hard for me to take him seriously, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But if Andie was just honest from jump with him, because that's his sister, about the plan that was going on, then they could have, routed their plan a little bit differently, and maybe Penelope would have been able to keep her baby.
Mm-hmm.
But Andie wanted to go rogue and wanted to play Superwoman and thought that she was in charge. And look at this. Look at everything now.
Well, look at what Christy Simmons said in the comment section. She said Andie is a liability whatever the situation is.
Exactly. She's stupid for even living in that place that Gary paid for it. It could have been bugged. He could set it on fire, whatever the case is. He can pop up whenever he wants to, change the locks whenever he wants to, but she's still choosing to live there. And this is a dangerous man, nonetheless.
Yeah,
but she has no problem living in his house.
She don't have no problem taking any of his gifts. She still got that Rolls Royce he bought the same time he bought that condo. Still rolling around with it. But he's a dangerous man. This man is coming after you, coming after your new boyfriend. He already did some things to Penelope. They lost the baby. I mean, he's sleeping with Hayden's girlfriend. But, of course, Hayden's girlfriend flipped the script on him with the video. So, I mean, it's like Gary is a menace.
Gary is a menace. Gary is a menace, and Hayden's girlfriend, what's her name? Tamara.
Mm-hmm.
This is the bad Tamara. Tamara is used goods.
Oh my God.
That's the only purpose she serves on the show. I don't see her do anything else.
Yeah.
But if this is a dangerous man, you would think with her being this high-powered attorney who wants to go for partner and everything, you would thought she would have her ducks in a row and try to at least make sure everybody was safe in this regard, or completely relinquish all of that to the FBI and let them do their job. but she wants to play Superwoman, and this is exactly what happened. I feel bad that Penelope lost her child because of Andie.
Yeah, I mean, Penelope is pissed though. She said she want him to bleed like she bled. She want him unalived, gone.
I don't blame her. I do not blame her at all.
Yep. So we'll see how this whole court case is going to go. She's a star witness. And then, of course, I think Andie's also part of the witness crew, too. So, I don't know. You know how Tyler Perry is. He'll throw a plot twist in there and be like, oh, my God, we didn't expect it to go that way. But what Delmonica say? Andie be doing too much. She won't shake that dude. I know, right?
At all.
At all. Whatever the eggplant is, I mean, them women be Tamara, Penelope, and Andie. Even though they all got issues with Gary, that don't stop them from going for his eggplant.
And as crazy as this man is, he's a fine-looking man, don't get me wrong. But if he's so dangerous, why do these women, especially Fatima, why do you guys feel so comfortable to step to this man?
Well, you know, Fatima ain't scared of nobody.
The way she's moving, if that were the case, then there should be no problem getting rid of Gary or
Hayden.
Yeah, exactly. So then I feel like she's all bark and no bite at this point. Mm-hmm. And Andie is just a chihuahua hiding behind Fatima. That's what she does best.
I know, right? Alright, we're going to talk about another lady that you can't really stand, and that is Pam.
Oh my gosh.
What did you think about the date that she had? Is this guy interested in her?
I think he's just taking full advantage of that 15-1. It's whoever is going to give him the time of day. I was surprised that he, for one, was even trying to get with Karen, and she's pregnant.
Oh, yeah, like, I didn't understand that one.
I mean, unless he has a certain fetish, I mean, live your life, sir. But the date with Pam, they're two single people. He keeps her occupied. I don't have to hear her voice, so I think this could be a match made in heaven. But I guess he can get in wherever he can fit in, basically.
Yeah, I don't understand that one. That going back to what you were saying about originally seemed like he was attracted to Karen. This girl got a set of twins in her by two different men.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think that it's like, man, she got unfinished business with two other men right now, sir.
They're still baking in the oven. Maybe in the back of his mind, he's like, you know what, she's already pregnant. You know, I don't have to worry about being a baby daddy. I can kind of get in and when I can fit in, and once she drops those kids, I can leave. That was my thought process. Unless this man has a fetish for women who are pregnant, it made no sense. It was kind of unrealistic for, especially a man in Atlanta with all the options literally at his feet, if he's chasing around a pregnant woman.
Did you hear what Christy Simmons said? She talking about Gary, that his eggplant is well ripe. Danny said so. Because Danny did see it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that online? Can we...
Listen, at that penthouse, Danny showed up and Gary was there, bucket naked, swinging and dangling. And Danny saw the full Monty.
I see why these women are going crazy. I see why Andie's probably still in that man's house now.
Mm-hmm.
Probably like, this man will get it together. Something about that eggplant. These women have been going crazy, and that's why Used Goods has no problem spreading it wide and telling Hayden lies.
Oh, Christy said a guy. So she said this guy is sus. So I don't know which one she's talking about. Is she talking about him?
Gary.
Oh, she was talking about Gary. Okay, got you.
I think so. I thought Gary was kind of sus, especially after that last episode, and he's like handling himself while talking to this man on the phone about Andie. I'm like, that's different.
Yeah,
But
you know
okay.
what? I didn't even think of it like that because when I saw it, I thought he was just getting off on a description that was given. But at the same time, there's a man giving you that description.
Right. There's a lot of
Okay,
bass in that voice.
I see what you're saying. I see. Yeah, it'd be different if it was, a woman. You know how they have like a girl six. You remember that movie Girl Six, where they
Yes.
have the phone
Chat, the
girl.
phone.
Yeah, the phone
Yeah.
chat girl. And that feminine voice on the other phone, get kind of sensual, blah blah blah, and it gets the guy going. Well, he was getting descriptions through a dude. So yeah, I could see why y'all would say that.
Yeah, that was a bit different, but I'm
Mhm.
like, okay.
Yeah, that was unique.
Yeah.
All right, but the other thing is the situation that's going on back to what we was talking about with you still there? Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you good.
Okay, because my phone was doing something crazy. I don't know what happened. Um, with what's the girl on the screen? Girl, look at that! I didn't got thrown
Damn.
off. Pam, with Pam, and she was over at Sabrina's house, and they was trying to put the baby shower together for Karen. And then Maurice was over there, and them two hit it off really well. And then when she left, Maurice was like, "I don't like her."
I agree, Maurice. She is the worst employee I've ever seen. How is she doesn't want to do her job, but wants to promote her business as somebody else's job? Who
Right.
does this? Who?
Now the thing is, she turned around and made Maurice an ambassador. So as much as he don't like her, he's really trying to lean into being an ambassador for her and all of this because he think he's finna do a little something extra.
Yeah, I can't see how. I mean, they trust Pam with work ethics, thinking this is going to be a slam dunk situation. No. I mean, she even went to Karen's baby daddy for an investment. She has no shame at all.
Mm-hmm. None. None. Yep. So, but what did you think about with Sabrina doing that by herself? Because Andie was supposed to help her, and Danny was supposed to help her, and Danny was getting her cootie cat, waxed.
Yeah, handled. To be honest, who cares to give Karen a baby shower to begin with? Why? Everything that Sabrina got for that baby shower was correct. Give her some raisinets, some popcorn, some 7-Up, and that's pretty much it. That's all that she deserves.
Girl.
I cannot stand Karen.
Mm-hmm.
She had a
Yeah.
lot of gall. And she made everyone come back and forth to her house. And for what? Oh, I'm having a baby. Oh, I'm having twins. Oh, I'm this. And she gets so mad at everybody within the friend group is talking about her business. Like, you share it with one way. What were you expecting was going to happen? I wanted to be the one to share it to you. It's not newsworthy. You are a 304. We know.
Because, like I said, Zach and Aaron wasn't the only one that was there. She was also sleeping with a little sneaky link that was coming through. I don't remember his name, but when she got pissed off at Zach from time to time, she'll call a sneaky link. And then Aaron and all that. So, I mean, obviously, and we got that scene between Aaron and Zach as well. And I kind
Mm-hmm.
of like this scene because last week, they were at odds. And I got to
Right.
give it to Aaron because he told Karen off last week. I was like, that's what you get. You talking crazy to everybody. Now, somebody need to tell you something. Even her own mama was like, you needed to hear that.
Right. She got so mad that this man was trying to get a stroller. I didn't ask you to get the stroller. How dare you do that? Like, girl, there's some men who do not give a damn. This man is happy and active and wants to be in your life, both of the kids' life, actually.
Exactly. And Cynthia Chain, Karen has been pregnant for like 4 seasons. I think she got pregnant in season 3, because this is season 7. That girl been pregnant for the last 2 to 3 seasons. And for a while, she wasn't even showing. It was like she was stuck in time. You know how usually the first 6 weeks or so, you're not really showing. It looked like she was stuck in that whole first trimester for 2 years.
She's been miserable and pregnant. She's been pregnant for at least 400 years at this point. I'm so tired of seeing her pregnant at this point. I really am.
I mean, and it's just messy because she wasn't thinking about Zach way back when she broke up with him. She thought he was a deadbeat and blah blah blah. He ended up on the street. Fatima came and picked him up, him and his bicycle, helped him out because he's working at the airport. Give him a little construction job. He took that money, put it on a stock tip. He's a millionaire. And then Karen like, do I smell money? Oh, I want him back. He owe me. Ma'am, you broke up with him. Let him go. And then all of a sudden she want him back. They had that little rendezvous back in her office at her old salon. And after she slept with Aaron too. And here we are, fast forward season 7, 2024. She's now pregnant with Zach and Aaron's baby. Exactly, Cynthia. She said, I'm exhausted with her pregnancy.
She's exhausted. We all exhausted. It's literally one thing after another with this woman, and she can never be happy. Actually, she was more happy thinking that Zach was the father of both of those twins, and when he thought that he was the father of both children, she was perfectly fine with that narrative. She got upset with Daddy because she pressed that DNA test because she knew she was up to no good, and it wasn't just Zach that she was dealing with.
Well, the other thing is she saw Jack as a meal ticket. Zach. She saw Zach as a meal ticket. This man is a millionaire. He got a nice car. Plus, I want to break up that situation or try to come in between or make it hard for him and Fatima. Because Fatima is over there getting diamond rings and nice houses and fancy cars. I want a piece of that pie myself. And so she wanted to throw both of them babies off on Zach. And she got a rude awakening when she realized that 1 out of 400 chance, she was the one that ended up sleeping with 2 men at the same time and got 2 babies in her from those same 2 different men.
And that was her choice. And why is she mad about this?
Girl, because she don't want to have to deal. She thought that she can hold autonomy over Zach. If she knows that she could always go to Zach about 2 children, not 1, but 2. Girl, you don't think that girl was going to cash in?
Yeah. So that's why I don't understand why she's so mad about that.
Girl, she don't want Aaron to have nothing to do with it. Well, unfortunately, ma'am, you had an alphabet soup in your uterus, and so there you have it.
And by choice. That's why I don't understand why she's so mad at Danny. She has called out everything. And she's once again thinking of herself being a selfish mother. Mm-hmm. Instead of trying to make sure she finds the father to her children. Because that's what she needs at the end of the day. Who's the father so her kids wouldn't have to worry or question anything. She made that choice.
Yep, and I'm glad that both Zach and Aaron, when they were at the gym, there was a mature moment to say, look, we need to be cool with each other. Because technically, their sons or daughters are siblings now.
Right.
So you got 2 different daddies acting crazy. The 2 siblings are going to be like, what the heck is going on? So they got to get along or figure out the way to make this work. And it was nice to actually see that they had a moment where they was like, okay, we gotta be cool.
And I never understand why she got mad at the fact that Zach wanted to put a trustway for his own child. He only got one of the children in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but remember, Aaron on the flip side was like, I'm gonna do what's best for both. I don't know how that's gonna. I mean, I get it. You
I do
know,
too.
I get it.
Because
Go ahead.
he doesn't want the kids to feel like, they're treated any differently. Like, I do get that. He wants to step up for Karen, and she don't deserve a damn thing. She not worth a damn.
Yeah.
Why these men stick anything in her? She's selfish.
Mm-hmm. Cynthia says she don't even completely trust Aaron. It's something about him. He's not to be trusted. I think he got more secrets because I don't know if you remember this or got a chance to see it, but he had a situation with his ex-wife and she unalived herself, and and he had a few skeletons that came out of his closet over the last several seasons, but at the end of the day, he's still the baby daddy, no matter if he got a whole bunch of skeleton bones piled up in his closet. He's
Exactly.
he's the father of one of Karen's kids. This gotta be, I don't even know, how would this go, girl? I mean, this gotta be a nightmare. Because,
I have a question.
yeah, go ahead.
Did they test Aaron? Is it a definitive result that he is the father of that other child?
I think they tested both of them, which is how they were able to find out.
But I thought they only tested Zach.
Well, I didn't. Aaron, it might have been in season 6 when she first found out. Well, she first found out a long time ago. But before she started showing, she had a test at the hospital testing Aaron or something.
But they could, yeah, they could have just. They could have tested Aaron against Zach's kid, and that's how she thought she only had one child. So I wonder if they even did a test on the other children. I don't think it's definitive. I think it's just assumed that Aaron's the father of that other kid.
She had amniocentesis done. So some kind. I gotta go back and try to remember all that, unless somebody in the chat can remember. But I thought that they had defended, because she went through the whole hospital process and had the amniocentesis and everything to make that determination. So I'll have to go back and check. But right off my top of my mind, I'm not clear on that. Yep.
But she got a man who wants to be there for her. Why is she mad at that?
Yeah, girl.
It's not Zach.
Exactly. Alright, so then we had Zatima, meaning Zach and Fatima, finding the exact nanny that they wanted, because Fatima, he wanted a nanny, but Fatima wanted the type of nanny that was not like a sweet, a cutie pie. Not saying this lady is not attractive, but she, they wanted somebody that's not distracting the household. I'll just say it like that.
Look, any woman who is able to spread it wide, we just saw with Miss Marie, any woman is up for grabs for those men.
I know, right? Listen, we're going to talk about her too, but go ahead.
But I'm like, look at Arnold Schwarzenegger. He got his whole maid pregnant. It doesn't matter. As long as he's able to get in where he can fit in, it does not matter to these men. They're not checking for looks like that. If anything, he can put a paper bag over the woman. It doesn't matter.
I'm wondering, because you know how Tyler is. Is this woman going to be some crazy woman that's trying to come for Zach? Or is he going to be a plant that, I don't know, Gary stuck in his house or something? Because, I mean, she going to probably have some type of storyline that's going to cause some issues in his house. Will she be doing something crazy? So we'll see if this nanny is going to be what they expect. So
it sounds like she knows what she's doing. She can cook, and what she made homemade mashed potatoes or something like that, meatballs or something. So that sounds good with me.
Exactly. All right, now we had a situation over at the law office that, yeah, Miss Lady was not happy with her dynamic team of attorneys because her soon-to-be ex-husband was able to get a whole bunch of maids to make her look like the bad person. And she was hotter than fish grease.
At her, and the thing is, unfortunately, she really doesn't have much of a team because Andie's not worth a damn. I mean, she's always the last one there and the first one to leave because she's too busy dealing with trying to be Superwoman and try to get Gary arrested. And then you have Hayden, who is so focused on trying to get one up on Andie, he's not really focused on doing his job. So I understand what Miss Marie is coming from, especially if she has the money that she has and she's, she's a billionaire and all this stuff is popping up. Yeah, I'd be very upset because her ex-husband can easily pay those maids to say anything and turn her into a villain, like she said. And that's disrespectful. And yeah, I would want my attorneys to be up on it. And apparently Hayden had no problem with that.
Yeah, so you know what? We might as well go into that because Miss Marie had other plans for Hayden. And it looked like Hayden was a willing participant too.
For a billionaire, I'm sure he would. If this was Oprah, he would do it too.
Oh, wait a minute now. This is BT. Girl.
This is equivalent to Oprah.
Well, listen. So Hayden is he's trying to be one of the partners. I think obviously he's into this because he figured that by getting what he can out of Miss Marie will put him in prime position over Andie to be partner.
He's like, look, let me get them.
Go ahead.
He gonna get them cobwebs off, and he went to work. And plus, it's not like he has like a faithful woman at home anyway. So, I mean, do what he got to do to secure that job. I guess I don't blame him because if the roles were reversed, a woman would do this.
Man, listen, I didn't know what to expect from Hayden. I saw the preview where she was talking to him, but I'm like, is Hayden going to be shocked? Is Hayden going to be like, no, Miss Marie, I can't do this? He was like, okay, what you want to do?
He going to secure that position.
Yeah, he's doing whatever it takes to get one up over Andie. I don't know. I just have a feeling that this is going to eventually, he's going to probably blow up in his face.
I hope not, because I don't need to see Andie and Fatima taking a whole victory lap, to be honest. Like, that whole thing kind of annoys me, because Andie's not even focused on her job, so you might as well just give that job to someone who actually wants it to be partner, and actually make an effort to be partner.
Yeah, she was late for her meeting, wasn't she?
Several times.
Yeah, several times. But yeah, I was shocked by it. I'm like, okay, Miss Marie, Miss Stella got a groove back.
She was like, how do you want to fix this issue with me? Like, how are you going to make it up to me? And then he pulled off that rope. I was surprised he pulled that off. I was like, oh.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. I thought maybe she was going to, have to put the effort. She'll take off her robe and show him whatever. No, Hayden took it off. I'm like, okay, Hayden. Oh, I mean, Miss Marie, girl.
She, Miss Stella, got her groove back. Everything. I was. This was just a bit much.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, knock them cobwebs off, sir. Secure that position. That's what I'm talking about. You're doing way more than Andie is.
Oh, Blackpink Me said, hey, y'all, I don't watch Sistas, so I'm just listening. Thank you for coming in, girl. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Maybe through our live recap, it kind of gives you an idea of what's going on over there.
It's a lot of foolishness. That's why we're talking about, we're dragging every bit of it by the skin of its teeth, everything.
Exactly. And then the other thing that went down on this episode was this guy putting a little bit of something extra in Jordan's drink.
Good. I'm
Girl,
tired of seeing Jordan. I'm sorry. I'm
listen,
tired of seeing
Jordan,
Jordan.
leave Jordan alone. He ain't
I
bothering
want
nobody.
to. I want to. But he serves, and I hate to say this, the character doesn't really serve a purpose. Even Andie doesn't trust this man to do anything for her. He's supposed to be a man with power, right? He's running for city council. He doesn't have ears to the FBI, ears to the street about anything regarding to Gary. Gary is running that city that he wants to be city council in. I don't understand that.
Well, see, I think and see what happened was, and I like the original Jordan, great actor. I don't this guy. I just
Interesting.
yes. I'm trying to be nice, but it's like what happened? That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, it's just they don't even have any chemistry like that, in my opinion. Like I felt Andie had a little bit more chemistry with what's his name, Agent Watt, when she met up with him and Penelope in that hotel room. He was fine. That's a good looking man. But she had more chemistry in those few seconds she had with that man versus the 14, 15 episodes we've seen with this Jordan.
Yeah. My thing is, this guy is planted by Gary, I think. Am I correct? Because I'm trying to remember. And so, did he it looked like, based on the previews for next week, his house got ransacked.
I think that's supposed to be staged, so they can say that Jordan's probably missing or something.
Well, we did see him and Andie talked, and he was like, dang, I think I had too much to drink. Do you see it on the preview? And Andie was like, yeah, it looked like you did have too much to drink, but the house was towed up. So I'm wondering, were they looking for something, or did they plant something?
I think they might have. I wouldn't put it past them to plant something, especially since Gary was trying to get that guy, I forget that boy's name, to put like a bug behind that picture, but he wasn't able to. So they had to drug him. And I don't know what the end goal is. Is Gary trying to get rid of Jordan for good? Is he trying to unalive him? Is he trying to put him behind bars?
Girl, it's straight up jealousy. All this comes down to the fact that Andie moved on. Even though Gary was in a 3-year relationship and got her pregnant with Penelope. We found that out. Was that at the beginning of season 7? No. Yes.
No, she was already pregnant.
Okay, so that must have been season 6. So, he's mad. He can go and sleep with anybody he wants. But when it comes to Andie, because she moved on, got into a whole relationship, it's been a whole problem since then. And he's been doing everything to try to destroy this man because he's dealing with Andie. And because Andie is not running back into his arms like she did for 4 or 5 seasons, now he's trying to destroy her at the same time. Even though he can play with himself by being excited by just hearing her voice or smelling her underwear and doing all that other kind of crazy stuff. Girl.
And I'm like, this heifer is not special at all. Why?
Well,
I almost want to put her as I almost want to call her used good, but that's already for Tamara, so I'm gonna call her spoiled goods. I think a part of her still is attracted to Gary. I think she's a little bit excited.
She is.
And even still living in this man's house, so she knows he could pop up whenever he wants to. I think deep down she wants Gary a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Christy says the chemistry between Andie and Jordan is off.
Yes.
Hey, Jay, the show is wild.
It's hard for me to like anybody on this show, Jay. I'll be honest with you. It's fun to talk about, but there's like certain characters who make moves that just don't make any sense. Like the person that we're talking about, Andie, she's supposed to be this high powered attorney who is just stupid in her real life. I mean, just everything outside of the workplace. She's not street smart at all whatsoever. She's allowing everything to happen to her and then hide behind Fatima whenever, something serious happens.
Well, listen, that ties into exactly what Fatima and Andie was talking about in that office. Because she was talking about how she's enjoying being a mother to Michael. And she was like, well, or was that Andie that said that? Well, you try to treat me like you're my mom here at work. And the first thing I thought about is what you said. Because that's exactly what Fatima does. She played Mama Bear to Andie at work and in her personal life.
Yep. And it's like she can't think for herself.
Nope.
Or make a conscious decision for herself. But she wants to play Superwoman and try to save the day. And she got Penelope to lose her baby.
Yeah, well, Gary, and that was the thing that when Tyler introduced the three new guys that's dating Danny, Andie, and Sabrina, and brought in Penelope, the storyline he gave us was the fact that, Penelope and Gary had been together 3 years when he was knee deep in Andie for 3 years. Girl.
This going back and forth. I mean, just simultaneously, and these women allow this. They have no problem with, regardless of what this man has done. They have no problem spreading it wide for this man.
Bree, Andie should have been done with Gary in season 1 when he got caught up with the feds. Then brought this whole house, took her to the feds, showed up. Took him, took everything else, took her car because she was associated with him, and left her with nothing on the side of the road. You should have been done with Andie way back. I mean, with Gary way back then.
Yeah, and look at her now. She's in his place, rent free. Mm-hmm. And he can pop up anytime he wants to, like he did in one of the episodes. He reminded her, look, you in my house, which is a fact. She got all this money. She can get her own place by now.
Yep. She had her own place. She gave it up to take that condo that Gary gave. It's in the same building.
She a whole idiot.
She gave up her cute apartment. Because, Gary would come through there. I mean, she's had... And every time she tried to break free... Because she was dating this guy named Paris. And that caused the whole problem. Then she was dating Robin. That was an attorney... That was one of the partners that came overseas. She ended up in a whole threesome... With Robin. And then what happened? Gary showed up.
I don't know what it is. Well, we know what it is with Gary, and these women refuse to leave it alone. That's why Andie's making the moves that she's making. Like she could have put Penelope in witness protection, or at least help her get in witness protection. There should have been no reason why Penelope should have ever confronted Gary, given the nature of everything that they learned and what he did to that girl that they talked about, or that girl that she confronted him about. Mm-hmm. It made no sense that Penelope was pregnant.
Christy said Fatima is the only one that I say I can like, and Danny's a close second. I agree with you on that. I like Fatima and Danny.
Yeah, I'll reverse that. I like Danny a little bit more, even though like some scenes I'm like, she a little off, but But Fatima, I'm kind of liking her a little bit more. I feel like in certain areas she asserts herself way too much, or she kind of does a little too much, especially being Andie's security. I know someone just said that, and her and the guard dog, but I just do not. It's hard for me to like some of the other characters, but those are the two that I like the most. Like I said, it's a love-hate relationship with the show.
Yeah, I agree. So, I don't know. Again, it goes back to Gary's eggplant. All things lead back to Gary's eggplant. Whether it's Danny looking at it, talking about how good it is, how good it looks. And then Andie was addicted to it for the last 5, 6 seasons. And then we
Still
have
is.
Penelope, who was with him for 3 years. And then Tamara sneaking off away from Hayden to get the eggplant from Gary too. So as toxic as he is, they love going to the eggplant.
I'll never understand that, and I don't feel bad for any of these women except for Penelope, because she didn't deserve to lose her child.
Plus, she had no clue. She didn't know anything about Andie or none of that. Nope.
I mean, but she's also a person with some sense. She went to Andie and got that information. There should have been something in place where she was in witness protection. Same way she's in witness protection now. That should have happened earlier versus her confronting Gary and then she losing her child.
Yep. So, child. We got a lot in on this first episode for this channel. Thank you guys. How many people showed up? Can you tell?
A little over 20. We see some familiar faces. Hi, everybody. Hi, Dewan. Yes, I said Penelope. It's a different type of Penelope.
Yeah, this is a different Penelope.
This Penelope I like.
Blackpink Me, this guy on the screen is trying to take down a city official by helping Andie's ex. Because Andie's ex don't like,
which is Gary,
don't like her current boyfriend because he's jealous, even though he has community D.
And this is the same man that gave the description of what Andie was wearing, and Gary was self-pleasuring himself.
Yep. He had a whole wife in the other room, big and pregnant, and then he goes in Andie's bathroom and excuse himself because they were all at her house that she's living in, and went into her hamper, pulled out a pair of dirty underwear and started smelling it, and was getting off.
Yeah, and I'm like, just take him with you. Why are you,
girl?
What's the obsession with Andie? Seriously.
Well, hey, whatever it is between those two, obviously she got the WAP and he got the eggplant, and they just can't get enough of each other.
Apparently not. And I'm like, sir, it's 17-1 in Atlanta. The choice is, the world is his oyster in Atlanta. Like, I get why she's stuck on that peen, but why is he stuck on her when he has nothing but options? Well, he's exercising his options, clearly. But, I mean, why Andie still?
Yeah, whatever it is, those two have a long, toxic relationship. And as long as Andie is single, he always try to get into her bed. When she's in a relationship, he always try to destroy the other person.
It's so petty and unnecessary, and I'll never understand. I think they might end up together. Watch. Something tells me that Andie and Gary going to end up together again.
Girl, probably so, because her current boyfriend, Jordan, and like I said, I hate that they change actors. You know, I don't know. It just doesn't fit with these two, and yeah, it sucks. But yeah, Joyce King, that was nasty. Very.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
Dewan, no, this is not like Girlfriends. This is on a different,
level.
different, different level, different everything. I loved Girlfriends, and the characters on the show. This show is so it. Sisters is very entertaining. It's like a hate to love type of show. Certain characters annoy you, but it's hard to not watch this show because you want to know what happens next. Especially seeing the foolishness with some of these characters. Like as much as I rag on Karen, I'm just waiting for her to pop out those babies after 400 years.
Yeah, 400 years is the exact thing. Because for the last 4 or 5 seasons, we were like, is this girl actually pregnant? She's not even showing. And then all of a sudden, she got a big old belly this season.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
Blackpink.
raising hell.
I know, getting on everybody's nerves. Thank God Erin had to check her and tell her about herself last week, and her mama agreed.
Yes.
Blackpink me. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. And I'll go ahead.
Blackpink me said I'm gonna watch this. What season is on? It's on season 7. Episode number 16 was tonight, so 17 is next Wednesday. It's once a week. Yeah, Delmonica, it's on a whole nother level. And, we tend, when it comes to daytime or nighttime soap operas, we tend to look for the sexy things.
Oh, yeah.
We get a ton of that on Sistas. And it's hot.
Everybody likes to go down under a lot.
Well, you saw what Tony did. Tony decided to go down on Danny tonight.
Yeah, I was like, okay, get to work, sir. It just seems like the guys. I mean, the guys are served these women like a silver platter. I mean, we've seen Tamara. She has no morals, no values, no nothing. That's why she's used goods, and she's quick to serve that up to Gary. So it was good to see Tony, get on his job.
Well, and see, Danny know what to do because she went and got the cootie cat, got it cleaned up with the Brazilian and whatnot. And so obviously when Tony went down there, she was good to go.
Yeah, nobody's choosing to floss, so I understand.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. But that's one thing I do like about the show. Sometimes it's just crazy sometimes, but the fact that we get some good hot scenes, we get some good hot scenes on Sistas. So if you don't watch it, check it out. BET, 8 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. And then at this point forward, we're going to do live chats after each episode. So he said, Harvey said, ew.
Harvey, yeah. Hi, I'm Bree. This is welcome.
Welcome.
Me.
Yeah. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for supporting the live for the episode that we are doing with the new soap on this channel, Sistas. Also coming up in about 6 months, we're going to have The Gates, which is also a African American soap opera in the daytime slots on CBS. Looking forward to that as well. So we're going to have some fun on this channel. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out. And we'll do it again next week. Right, Bree?
Yes, I'm ready. I can't wait to see what happens with Jordan. Something's not right. Something doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I want to know what that dude that's on the screen did. What did he do? Did he plant something? Did he take something? Did he set him up with something? So we got to stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
All right, you guys, have a great night, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye, guys.